another episode of the Dalton Grant Academy Talk Show. My name is Dalton Grant, a three-time Olympian, former board director of London 2012 Big Team. Each week, me and my guests explore the mindset, determination, and focus it takes to become an elite. Gain the insight to the world of sports, film, and more. Have I got a treat for you? Episode 15 of the Dalton Grant Academy Talk Show. And we have a great athlete for you today. This is going out to all you athlete fans. In 2006, he won the gold medal in the Commonwealth Games. In 2007, he won the gold medal in the European Indoors Championships. In 2008, he won the silver medal in Beijing. In 2009, he won the World Championships gold medal. In 2010, he won the European Indoors, and in 2011, he won the Diamond League. He was a winner of the Diamond League and also a World Championship silver medal. No other than the great triple jumper, Phillips Idowu. Welcome to the show.
You're making me feel old, man. Don't.
I'd just like to say, I'm so happy the way you brought that torch to light and you flew the flag for Hackney.
Oh, speaking of torches, I'm just going to bring this right here.
Whoa, look what it say. Oh my God. There it is.
Just
so
like like running through East London, holding this. That was pretty gas for me. It meant so much to me, like running through East London, and I brought it to Australia with me because it meant so much to me.
So you're in actually Australia now, Phil?
Yeah, I'm in Brisbane, Australia. I've been here for like a number of years now. Like, so it's been a massive move. Like, looking at me now, like, I guess a lot of people wouldn't even recognize me. Like, the last time they probably saw me, I was like on a track with red hair. Now I'm here in like a pink t-shirt, bandana, and dreadlocks. So I'm a different.
What can I say?
Yeah,
it's a different look. Everybody thought you was the Dennis Rodman for track and field, but I always thought you was Hackney bringing your own flavor in my eyes.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what? Like, ultimately, I was like emulating you. Like, you on the track, like you had your flair, you had your flavor. Like you're the person that I idolized because you did your own thing. Like, you did stuff that people weren't doing. Like, you're like, yeah, I'm not coming in now. 228, nah. 231. Yeah, maybe now I'll come in. Like, you did some madness.
Anyway, okay. But we're going for you. This is the Phillips Idowu show. Thank you. Was you born in Hackney?
Born and bred. That was my hometown, boy. Like, born and bred in Hackney. Went to school in Bethnal Green. That was like, it's in my blood. Like, it's ingrained. Like, and like, there's so many successful people that have come from those ends. Like, you get me? Like, you, myself, like even going into like the 2010s, like with looking at people like Leona Lewis and Labyrinth and stuff, like Idris Elba, like there's so many people from Hackney that's like made like big names for themselves. Like, I'm proud of that place. Like, I did so much like coming into 2012 to promote like the Olympics and just the cultural diversity and artistic. And
how did you start? Was you a high jumper? Was you a sprinter? Because I know you're quite fast and people might think, and being Usain Bolt so tall, running fast. So how did you get into the triple jump?
It was, you know, I was always pushed into the triple jump. Like, it was just kind of like, because I started off playing basketball. So that was the school, that was the thing from my school. So
you started dunking?
Yeah, Rains Foundation in Bethnal Green, that was my school. And I was lucky to have like a good PE teacher who had a good eye. So Humphrey Long, who not too long passed away, like God bless his soul, like he was like one of the best basketball coaches in East London and in the country, to be honest. And he spotted my ability for jumping. And he pushed me to...
dunking? As I said earlier, was you dunking?
Nah, not at that time. Not at that time. Like, not at that time. I'm still dunking now, boy. Like 42 years old. I can get up there. Like,
you've got the hops then, all right? I hear you.
I can get up there. Like, I've just joined the basketball league over here. Like, I'm about to play again, like, in the next 10 days.
Wow.
I'll post the video. Like, you'll see me getting up, dunking in games. Like, I'm like, I'm still pretty athletic, so
Please do that, because then we can put it on this show here and show what you're saying getting up. So you edit that and say, hey, look at Phil still rising at the age of 42.
I still get up. I still catch air. So,
Right, brilliant.
Yeah, like to be honest, like my whole life has been sport. Like from secondary school till now. Like I try to either compete myself or motivate people to achieve their goals.
Yeah,
So I've done.
great. Yeah, you've been inspiring people through your performance. You've been inspiring people for your performance. So how did you handle it? Was you an athlete who was always getting injured, or you didn't really get injuries? Or how did you handle that?
Oh man, like I suffered for a number of injuries. Like I was hurt for a large period of my early career, which is probably why I ended up like competing for so long, like up until my like early phase, mid-30s, because I went through injuries like coming into the senior ranks, and then in the middle period of my senior ranks, like I suffered through injuries, like I had knees, back, like surgeries, and I just kind of had to learn to understand my body. And
that's the key, understanding your body. Then that's the key to understanding your body. But you did really well, because from 2006 going on to 2011 and beyond, you won so much medals. So what was it? Was you consistent with the same physio? Did you go abroad?
I think it was like 2000. Did you say 2006?
Yeah, Commonwealth gold medal. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
I think you won them before.
Yeah, so 2006 was a year. Well, 2005 world champs. I think that was Helsinki, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I think 2005 world champs in Helsinki. I qualified, but I didn't go because I was hurt. And in my head at that time, I was like, I'm done. Like I pretty much was about to quit the sport.
Wow.
And I had a really close friend, like, and another international athlete, Damien Greaves.
Right.
Like international hurdler. You know Damien.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Another international hurdler, Damien Greaves, and he was the one who said to me, like, yo, Commonwealth Games coming up, it's early next year. Let's just bust our asses through the winter, like from like November to like January. If we're in good shape, we jump on a plane, go to Australia, work out there till the games come. And like whatever happens at the games happens. If we're good, then we carry on. If we're not, then we kind of shut it down. And yeah, like we worked hard, like me and him, through the winter in the cold UK. And I say the cold UK now because I'm living in Australia, so
yeah,
I don't know what cold is anymore. We worked hard, and come January, like we jumped on a plane, went to Melbourne in preparation for the Com Games. Like just pitched ourselves up, and we trained like every day, like 6 days a week. We was like working out, like 2 sessions a day. And I think on a Saturday we did like one session. So it was like 2 sessions a day. And on a Saturday we did like one session, and we had like that half day off and Sunday off, then we went again. So we did that right from like the back end of January right up until like the Com Games started.
So what kind of training was you doing? What was your training regime?
Oh man, like it was pretty much the same thing we'd done before, but it was just with a different mindset. Because it was like go hard or go home. It was like bust or nothing. Like it's like you do it or you don't. So it was kind of like, hey, we're gonna give it our all because we know this is like the final shot. And Damien got into some serious shape. Like if you've known Damien from a junior, like he was always a big stocky athlete.
So Damien was a chubby athlete, and
I didn't say chubby. I didn't say that.
No, you didn't say chubby. Go on. It was a big. Be nice then. Right, go on.
Yeah, I didn't say that. So he was always like a stocky athlete, like well built and strong, like definitely strong. But the spending that time in Melbourne man, this guy was ripped. Like, he was still the same size, but all of a sudden, like, he's got like an 8-pack, and he was in shape.
Right. So
He
he
was,
was in shape. Wow.
I,
So that helped you.
I,
So that mindset of work hard or go home, what helped you, and you both pushed one another. And then what happened when you came back to UK?
like, we weren't even doing the same event. Like, I was a jumper, he was a hurdler, but we pushed each other,
Yeah.
to kind of get to. And you've done that as well. Like, you're a high jumper.
I did that all my career. That's why I
Yeah,
was with Liv Christie, Colin Jackson, Frankie Fredericks, Rooney Surin.
that's what I'm saying. You get it. Like, see,
Yeah.
like, it's not about like what you're actually doing. It's about the mentality of the people you're working with. Like, if people are like, you know what, we're doing this, then you're on that same vibe. And we were on that same vibe, and like, we were ready. And he was ready too. Unfortunately, I think like he hit a hurdle in his race at the Com Games, and I ended up going on and winning it.
Okay.
So he took a step back from the sport, and I went on from the Com Games to winning all those titles that you'd mentioned. I still had injuries between 2006 and 2012, but I think my mentality was stronger. Like it was stronger. Like, I knew.
Well, you got the G's, so clearly track and field is all about results, and you got the results. So did you feel the pressure? Because obviously everybody's looking for you to break the world record. Did you feel the pressure of that you couldn't feel comfortable, that everybody was trying to put something on you because you're high and your ability?
I don't know if everyone expected me to break the world record, but definitely, like, I knew that there was an expectation of me to win and perform well. Like, but I think that was off the back of Jonathan's career. Like, so I kind of came in off the back of Jonathan Edwards' career. So he was a successful triple jumper within the UK, and then as he was like leaving the sport, I was coming in. So there was that level of expectation that I was a talented jug athlete and I should like fill those shoes. And I really believed that I was talented enough to do that. Like, I was like, yeah, like, and you have to have that level of arrogance that, man, I can jump that far. Like, in my head, I was thinking,
confidence in your ability, because you knew.
In my head, I thought I could jump 90 meters. I was like, I'm jumping 90 meters, like, and I worked towards like how to jump 90 meters, like.
Yeah, so you had that mindset in your mind. So it wasn't arrogance. I think it was confidence, because you knew yourself. Speaking about earlier, how you knew yourself, so you knew you was ready. And that is the key in athletics, knowing your body through the good times and the bad times to get the right results out.
Speaking of that though, do you know the funny thing is, like, when I jumped my furthest, I was probably like the least confident. Like, when I jumped my 1780, when I jumped my 1780 at the European Champs, man, like, I was a bag of nerves. Like, my legs were jelly. I was doing my warm-up run-ups, and you know, you put your foot down and you feel like you're just like buckling.
Yeah.
I sucked that year. Like, I was being beaten by people that were jumping like 16, 20. Like,
wow.
But I had been ill. Like, I suffered from illness that year, and I was just kind of getting ready for like the European Champs. And Teddy was obviously like, he was like a pretty much like just under 18 meters jumper at that time, like 1798. And I was like, I'm going to get my ass kicked. I was like, I'm not ready. Like, not ready. And I spoke to Aston and I was like, all the work I put in through the winter and stuff, like, I got this illness and like, I just was not myself. Wow. And he was like, nah, I feel like you have to go. And I was like, Aston, I don't think I'm going to go. I said, I don't think I'm going to go. Like, I said, I can't. Like, I said, it's pointless me going. I said, I don't want to go to a competition unless I'm going to win it. Like, and that's my mentality is like, I don't want to go to like an Olympic Games just to eat McDonald's, free McDonald's. Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, it's no point. Who
Yeah,
trains to fail?
I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the World Champs just to get like a whole heap of kit, like just to put in like a storage unit. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, it's not my first time. Like, so I was just like, I can't go. And Aston said, Phil, like, we've done the work. Let's go to the champs. Barcelona, we'll put in a good couple of weeks of work, 2 weeks of work before the actual champs begins. And we'll do it.
But you know, it's great about you. So obviously, you know, everybody has personal challenges, but how do you come back? Because the show about this show is all about how you handle so in track and outside track. So how did Phillips handle this? Because still in that generation, that time, you still had to perform. So how did you get narrow-minded and stay so focused and win all those medals?
Okay, so going back to the European champs in 2010, when I actually jumped my PB, Aston was the biggest influence in making that decision because I was not gonna go, and he was the one that said like, and I had full faith and trust in Aston because that was my coach. I made the decision to move from London to Birmingham to work with him for like a solid 4 years. And when he said to me that Phil, we'll go, like, let's go, we'll do some work before the champs, you'll be good. And I didn't realize how good it was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be like a 1780 good. Like, that was really good. Like, to be honest, like, I think like, out of that, in that competition, like I should have won gold, silver, and bronze from like my best jumps in that competition. Like all my jumps like were real tight, and
when you mean tight, break down tight to people. They want to know tight. I know the meaning of tight. Tight
would mean like it was on point. Like it was tight. Like it was like I was. Technically, I was like, I jumped 17:47 in the first round, 46 in the second, 81 in the third, and I think I jumped another 40. And
any
like,
no jumpers? Any big no jumps?
Nah, like I didn't no jump. There's no jumps. Like all my jumps mark and all my jumps were over like 17:40, like 17. Yeah.
Have you ever had any big no jumps during your life? Massive. Because people always talk about the no jumps or when they attempt an act.
I think there was one probably like way back, like we're going like decades back now, like 2002 European champs, where is either in a qualifying round or final, like I had a big no jump. I think also like in Athens 2004, I think I had a jump there which was big enough to win it.
Right.
But it was like marked as a foul. But you know what, that's like, I'm in a place where I don't really dwell on those kind of things because my life's good. Yeah. Like it's an experience, like you learn from that. And I'll use those experiences like to kind of like educate my kids and the kids that I work with and the young people that I work with, like, and people that I engage with, to just kind of like stuff happens. I was about to swear. Stuff happens.
You would do that. I know you would. Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff happens, but it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Like I've had bad years, but I've come back off the back of that and ultimately like been a success. Like I would never ever imagine like me, Phillips Idowu, like going to like Ray's Foundation School, the Bova Primary School, like in Hackney and so on and so forth, like driving through Stratford and seeing like a big old building in 2012, a whole figure, like tower block of me, like my face, my body, like just up there, like on a big old building, like from top to bottom, like never.
I mean, that's huge. I mean, that's what I'm saying. The impact is me, because even I was a board director bringing the Olympics for athletes to come down. So I pinch myself sometimes because you never see things like that. You never dream of it in a million worlds, but it's a pressure of kind of handle what comes with that. Because I never went for fame. I just wanted to be successful, can't and I brought my A game to the table, and I felt like I was representing where I came from and what I can contribute to the world as coming from a deprived background. So how did you handle the fame? Because obviously you was on that pedestal higher than me, and a character.
I think it was a different era between when you were competing to when I was, because when you were competing, like track and field was on the TV like all the time. Yeah. Like you guys, your level of fame was different from our era. Like track and field wasn't as massive as it was then. Like I remember as a youngster, and sorry to make you feel old saying I'm a youngster, but when I was a youngster, like I remember like just randomly turning on the TV on a Friday, and there was like a Golden League on. And was it Golden League back then?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, it was like, there was like a Golden League on, and you guys were competing. Like there was always like, I remember just turning the TV on, there was always athletics on the TV, and like you guys were on there, like just randomly, like, and this is when we had like 4 channels, like when we had channels, like you just turn on the TV and you guys were on there. So like your level of recognition and fame was like different. But like in the era that I was actually performing well, like there's a lot of scrutiny because there's like the whole social media vibe and stuff like that. And you can actually engage directly with your fans. Like there's a lot. Man, like I struggle because even like there are times when I competed really well and maybe had fallen short. So I may have gone to a world champs and got a silver.
Yeah.
And I look at the articles that have come out like the following day, and the articles may be, Phil loses gold, blah, 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 blah. And then I'd see someone else who'd won a silver, and then the articles would be like, blah, 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 won a silver. Yeah. That was gas. And I'm like, wow, why's it got to be so negative?
Yeah.
Why's it got to be so negative? And I'm not sure if that's because I set my standards so high and the expectations for myself was so high, because I was never going to be happy unless I was winning. Like you'll never find a picture of me at the Olympics in Beijing with a smile on my face with a silver medal. And not to disrespect the medal, but that wasn't my goal. Like I've always wanted to be an Olympic gold medalist because I watched the Olympics in Seoul, I watched the Olympics in Barcelona. Like I watched all these Olympics, and the pinnacle of your sport was to win an Olympic gold medal. And that was always my childhood dream. And yeah, I'm like 42 years old now and I haven't achieved that, but I can look and appreciate like all the stuff that, like I've got my damn torch from the Olympic Games right next to me. And that's pretty much the only thing I've got out in my house. Like I don't have any of my medals out. Still none.
Wow. You're like me. That's like me. I've got never ever. Never had. Yeah. No, in the drawer. Yeah.
I still don't have any of my medals out on display, but this, like, I'm proud of that because that's my hometown. Like, it says London, mate. Like, I'm in Australia. Like, it's got London. I've got to be proud of that. That's home, always, forever. Like,
wow. No, I understand because it just talks. It says volumes about you as a person, and where you come from. And I commend you because people don't realize how hard it is when you come from a deprived background. They don't understand, and you can't. You don't choose your parents. You're brought into the world, and it's the values and the understanding in life, what they know, where they can bring you to the best of their ability. So for what you've achieved, and you never dream of it, and how you conduct yourself, to me, I take my hat off because there's many people who had a silver spoon and a gold spoon, but you had no spoon. So what are you doing now? So you said in schools, are you coaching? What are you doing with yourself in a whole?
Uh,
How do you see Phil in the future? Because there's still more great things that you're going to achieve. Just like you say, you're going to start playing basketball, so you're definitely going to inspire people. Have that presence.
it's like it, like, you know what, like, again, like, I'm grateful for my career in track and field, because it's like opened up a lot of doors for me. Like I literally can do whatever I want, and I'm grateful that I'm here. Like, I'm living in the sun, like, literally every day. It doesn't get cold over here, and that's good for my skin. So, it's good for the melanin. But I've done a whole heap of stuff. Like, I've done like stuff with different schools over here, like state schools and private schools. So the first time I actually stepped away from track and started just actually doing like what you'd say a real job, I was doing the coaching for athletics for a private school.
Okay.
Did that for the second year they brought me on, and I did that, and I did the basketball as well. Third year they brought me on, and I did the basketball, the athletics, and the weights and the strength and conditioning stuff. Okay. And then like the school got really good results like year after year. And I had to be persistent with the head coaches and the head of sports, say, nah, like, you need to put this athlete in this event and blah, 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 blah. Because I've got the experience. You know, when you see talent, like you do it. You're working with athletes now. You see what people have got. Like, people wrote me off when I was like 13, 14 years old. They're like, nah, you don't got it. Like, you know, like when they got something. And I've worked with athletes that never triple jumped before, gone from never triple jumping to being like top 4 in the country within like 2 years.
That's brilliant. Like, that shows your ability that your experience in life, you could use that and encourage and let people achieve what they thought they would never be able to achieve. So well done to that.
To be honest, like, the young athletes never actually thought that they would get to that level. They were just doing it for the school. Like, oh, let me just get the points, you know, like, let me just get the points for the school. Yeah. So it's that.
Definitely. So how do you feel with the current crop of athletes? Because, you know, the depth is not there in my eyes when I see it on TV anymore.
Within the UK? Within the UK,
yeah.
Within my event, or within like
the whole sport, the whole structure, especially like, you know, not even no former athletes who come back into the sport. We've got netball, where netball is not the same as athletics. It's a more passive sport where we're pushing ourselves to the limit. You have to run the fastest, jump the highest, jump the furthest. Yeah. So the pressures of training, you know, and competition is totally different. So like what we know, we've got
it's like qualitative. You either hit the mark or you don't. Like, you can't, you can see the results. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? Like, I've only literally thought, like, within this year, like, and we're just in February now. Like, within this year is the first time I've actually started looking at what's been going on within athletics. Like, I've taken a massive step back. So I've done the stuff with the school, and I went on and was doing youth work and just doing like more community stuff.
Is that finding yourself?
It was like the whole thing, as far as like we struggled in our youth and like the difficulty we had, like in our hood and stuff, like, and I just wanted to kind of do that kind of thing over here with like the Indigenous kids, and like those that have got it rough. So I kind of focused on that for a minute, like for like 3 years, I focused on that. And then like in the last year, beginning this year, like I've just started kind of getting back into like figuring out like what's going on in athletics. Like, okay. So as far as who's like, you know what, I've kept an eye on certain people, because there's certain people that I was engaging with when I was competing, like our young triple jumper, Ben.
Yeah.
So Ben, like, I was like
engaging with. Ben, to everybody who knows Ben, his surname.
Like, I think he's like our #1 triple jumper in the UK.
Well, I know that you haven't been around, but obviously that's what happens sometimes. That's what's happened to me when I stopped I went outside of sport. I forgot the name of the current athletes, high jumpers that is, until I went back into the sport and know like tight jumps like Tom Gell, who's doing well, and you know, that's the only guy in my eyes that I see who can probably.
Is Tom the one who's just had injuries? He's just come back now, huh?
That's right, decent jumper.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like, so me now, only just at the beginning of the year, like just come back. So like I saw a post and I was like, oh yeah, he's back. Like, welcome him back. Da, da, da. I'm like, I don't even know who this kid is, but like he's jumping high. Like all of a sudden for me, because I've been away for a while. I'm like, damn, like who is this? Because he wasn't around. Because before then it was like Robbie, Tom Parsons, and like those guys.
Right.
Yeah,
but this guy's the real deal. Tom Gell is a real deal. I mean, but the funny thing is, it's just for me, it's quite a shock because I went international. So most of these coaches in the sport was around when I was, but I think they couldn't have brought me to that next level. And you know, one of the main coaches in high jump, I used to jump against him. So the mindset of me and how I competed and jump over 230, 50 times, it's hard for me to go back, you know, and take advice from people that I jump high and I'm performing that field. So it's funny how other coaches now, actually, even sprinters, former sprinters, are taking up high jumpers rather than going out and trying to speak to people like feeding back, like Ben come to you and ask you for advice. They don't come to ask for advice. I find that strange, but it's life. It's their loss because you know the sport, like in the sport in the sense of no one goes out to fail. It's short-lived. And when you see great athletes like you, the Liver Christies, the Colin Jacksons, the Knees, look at them. So it'd be hard for them to come in the sport or where they're feeling they're superstars before they're superstars, you know, and the results tell you where you're at. So in my event, in the high jump, is really poor because we had lots of great jumpers who was jumping over 230.
No, you had you had Brendan, you had Steve Smith. Like that was hard. That was like a solid crew. Yeah. Oh, and then Ben was like my era. So Ben was like coming up behind you guys. So
but he was in there. I remember I had to battle with him. He pushed me in the Commonwealth Games in 1998.
Yeah, but Ben was like a year older than me, so he was coming up behind you guys. Like you guys had already like set the standards from day. So he obviously, and that's the same thing. Like we appreciate the athletes of your era. So look at athletes like Christian Malcolm, Ben Challenger, myself. We had people like. So Christian Malcolm had people like John Regis and Liver Christie that he had to chase. Ben Challenger had people like you, Steve Smith, and Brendan Riley that he had to chase.
That's right.
I had Jonathan Edwards, Francis Agupong that I had to chase.
Yeah.
So in order for me to actually make any kind of claim within the UK, within my own country, like I had to be world class.
Definitely. But you see, this is what you said. I'm glad that you said that, Phil. But you know, this generation, sometimes they're not even hitting the target, but it's like a disrespect. I don't care. Once you've done the time, unless you're not a decent, well, I can't say decent, respectful human being, then I haven't got time for you. If you're respectful, I've always got time for you. You know, and that's what I do believe that to grow is use an open mind and go and ask. Ask for advice. It doesn't have to be the technical aspects, it's the mental aspects. And you need to go to people who's been there and done it and knows what it feels like to compete, you know, in 100,000 stadium. You know, and that's the things that we need.
I hear that, but then I can also like go back on that and say like the best athletes don't always make the best coaches. Like you look at coaches like Ted King, who has coached like some of the best athletes in the world. Like Ted does not have an international triple jump medal, but he has the knowledge and he understands the sport and the event that he's able to.
Ego, though. It all depends. Because look at John Smith. He was a great runner, you know, and he was is a great coach up to now because he's coached someone. So I think it goes down to personality. I think someone like yourself, what you've gone back and what you want to instill in people for your experience. I think some people probably not open. It's Phil way is not the only way. It's one way. Dalton way is not the only way. It's so many ways. If you got that open mind as a former athlete and you're very patient. Because Phil could just jump far. I used to wonder, why can't people jump over their head high? Phil, I see people go down because we could do it naturally. And that's what we had to find and believe in our own talent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey,
So, I mean, Phil, I'd say, it's a pleasure. But what I want to do,
I want to ask you something. I want to ask you something, Dalton.
Well, Phil want to ask
Can you dunk? Can you
okay,
dunk?
one thing. I want to give you a wish. One wish.
Go on.
One wish for you. What would you take for your wish? I'm giving you one magic wand. I'm passing it over to you, and you got one wish.
Oh, you give. So this is my one wish, my one question.
No, you wish. No, for you wish for yourself. Now, looking back at your career.
Oh, for myself, for my career.
Yeah, what would be that one wish or life?
Oh, damn! Wow. You know what? Like, I'm happy with where I'm at right now. Honestly, like, I'm looking at like moving into a new place. Like, I'm making moves now, like moving into a new place.
Give us the wish. So give us a wish to tell us. It's your wish for you. Not where you're moving. This is what you want. So obviously, we know in athletics, your ultimate goal was to win the gold medals in the Olympics. Yeah. So that wish is yours.
I don't have a wish because everything I want, I'm doing. Like, you know what? Okay, you know what? My wish would be to have my older kids with me. That's my only wish.
What can I say? Well, that's it. Wow.
That's my wish. Like, in everything I'm doing right now over here, that'd be my only wish, to have them with me.
Well done. Yeah, that's it. Well, so now over to you. That one question that you'd like to ask me, please.
See, now it doesn't sound so important because I just wanted to ask if you can dunk.
Dunk. yeah, I can dunk. Yeah, I don't dunk at a European. I dunk. I take it up here, man. I jam that ring. I jam it. I jam it.
You know, when I start my game on the 20th, I got my first game on the 20th of Feb. When I do that, I'm gonna post one. You post yours after that, yeah?
Oh, I'm 52. I was gonna say 52. I'm 54. Soon to be 55.
I'm talking now.
About now. I have to go back in the gym and I have to work on that. I don't know about now.
Do some squats.
You know what I'm scared of, Phil? I still got hops, but
yeah,
I'm scared that I might tear my muscle because it's not conditioned. Because some people go back and jump because when I'm bound and I do little things, my hops is still there. So I'm not scared. Yeah. I feel, and mentally, I feel that I can rise still because my body still reacts. But I'm scared that I might overgo and do that, and my muscle fires so fast, and I pull Achilles or something. To be honest, that's what I'm scared of.
All right, we'll just
to get back into a bit of training, and because I don't really train, I more demonstrate.
Little bit here, little bit here, little bit there. Like, put the work in.
All right, then that's a challenge. Then I'm gonna, warm up and do a little bit and see.
Before the end, like we're in February, before the end of 2021, I want to see a dunk on a 10. I want to see it on a legit rim, like, because I know what.
I might have to come over to Australia and visit you. You know what I mean? And in your face, and then you know what's going down.
Come over and do some warm training.
Wow. Yeah, pleasure. I will have to do that. Check you up on that one. Because I used to train there obviously every winter, but we was in Sydney. Yeah. So I like to say, Phil, it was a pleasure. Love to see that smile's always there and you accomplish everything and is at peace with yourself. And that's true happiness, to really feel at peace with yourself now. So on that note, I like to say, take care and have a great season. I didn't want to say life, a season, because you're starting out in your basketball. And I'm looking forward to that dunk.
Yeah, man. Yes, man. Always. Be good.